Imagine this. You're walking into a crowded coffee shop, and suddenly, you hear everyone's thoughts as if they're broadcasting on a personal radio station. The barista is stressed about their exam later. The person behind you is debating whether to quit their job, and your best friend, oh no, they're secretly annoyed you were late. What if we knew how to read minds? How would it change relationships, work, society, and even who we are as humans? Today, we're diving into this wild possibility. And trust me, it's not as straightforward as you think. Let's start with relationships. Imagine never having to wonder what someone thinks about you. You'd know instantly if your crush likes you back or if your partner is upset about something, even before they say a word. At first, that sounds amazing, right? No more mixed signals or awkward misunderstandings. But let's think deeper. Would falling in love lose its magic if there's no mystery? Part of the thrill is discovering how someone feels over time. But with mind reading, it's all laid bare. And what about those thoughts we all have? The fleeting, irrational ones we don't actually mean. Like when you're frustrated and think, I can't stand them right now. How would relationships survive when every thought, even the ones you don't mean, is exposed? Would honesty strengthen bonds or destroy them? Now picture mind reading at work. Meetings would be revolutionized. No more guessing if your boss likes your pitch, you'd know. Negotiations would be quick because you'd immediately understand what the other person wants. Productivity would skyrocket, or would it? Imagine knowing your coworker secretly thinks your ideas are terrible or that they're jealous of your promotion. Could workplaces stay functional when every hidden insecurity and private judgment is out in the open? Plus, wouldn't mind reading lead to a new kind of competition? Trying to control not just your actions, but even your thoughts, so others don't pick up on anything negative? It's a workplace drama waiting to happen. And what about crime? This one's huge. Imagine a world where lie detectors become obsolete because we can simply read minds. Interrogations would be quick, and justice might feel more accurate. Did you steal that car? Boom, the answer's clear. But would this lead to abuse of power? Governments or corporations could monitor thoughts, turning our minds into open books. Privacy as we know it would disappear. Sure, we'd solve more crimes, but what would freedom even mean when every stray thought could be used against you? What if mind reading completely transformed education? Imagine a classroom where a teacher could instantly know if a student is struggling, bored, or even too scared to ask for help. Tailored lessons would become the norm. Every explanation customized in real time to meet the exact needs of each student. No one would ever fall behind again because a teacher would literally understand their thoughts. But what about the flip side? Imagine students being able to read their teacher's mind. They'd know if a teacher found their question silly or was frustrated during a lesson. Would this lead to deeper mutual understanding, or would it create an overwhelming pressure for teachers to control every stray thought? And what about exams? Mind reading could make tests obsolete, as teachers would already know who has mastered the material. Education might become hyper-efficient, but could it also become overly controlled, leaving little room for creativity or individuality in the learning process? Now, let's dive into the world of entertainment. What if mind reading became the ultimate tool for creators? Filmmakers, game developers, and writers could read the minds of their audience to craft stories that hit every emotional note perfectly. You'd have movies that trigger precise feelings, happiness, suspense, or even nostalgia, tailored to your personal experiences and preferences. Imagine a video game that adjusts itself in real time, knowing exactly what scares or excites you. But would this perfection kill creativity? If creators know exactly what you want, there's little room for surprise or innovation. Stories might lose their unpredictability, becoming overly catered to our expectations. Alternatively, it could open the door to entirely new forms of art. Imagine thought-sharing movies where you directly experience someone's emotions or memories. But here's the question. Would this heightened personalization bring people closer to art? Or would it create a world where individuality is sacrificed for mass appeal? Now let's step back and think about society as a whole. Imagine walking down the street and you can hear every thought around you. how long before we're overwhelmed by noise? Or what if mind reading is only available to the wealthy? A billionaire could literally buy access to your private thoughts. The gap between the rich and poor would widen even further. And how would human culture evolve? Creativity often thrives in mystery, in not knowing what's coming next. If we could predict everyone's moves and intentions, would art, music, and innovation stagnate? Or would we find entirely new ways to express ourselves? Here's a lighter twist. What about reading animals' minds? Imagine knowing exactly what your dog is thinking. Spoiler alert. It's probably just snacks, snacks, and more snacks. But on a serious note, understanding animals could revolutionize how we treat them, improving animal welfare, and even helping endangered species. But again, would it make us more compassionate or simply give us more control over them? Finally, the big philosophical question. What does this do to our sense of self? Right now, our thoughts are the one thing we truly own. They're private, unfiltered, and uniquely ours. If mind reading becomes the norm, that barrier between the inside and outside world collapses. Would we become more empathetic because we understand each other better? Or would we lose something deeply human, our individuality, our mystery? So, what if we knew how to read minds? Would it unite us as a species, giving us the ultimate tool for understanding and empathy? Or would it tear us apart, leaving no room for privacy, trust, or even individuality? Let me know in the comments. Would you want this ability, or does it sound like a nightmare? If you're fascinated by questions like these, don't forget to subscribe for more mind-bending what-if scenarios. Who knows? Your next big question might already be in my head.